What's up, Detroit? It's Darius. I am back with you. We're excited for yet another episode on a brand new season of the podcast world. Again, I got my man Gary here. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
I see you got the Detroit Tigers hat on in the midst of the Tigers game.
Yeah, man. Whoa, that traffic was terrible, but yes.
We like that, though. That means the city is popping. And we got our special guest here, Mr. Rico Razo.
Yeah.
Did I say it properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I'll kind of like bring the audience up to speed. You know, we would see Rico out and about at some events and things, and you know how you meet somebody and y'all just like, what's up, man? Like, you know, it just clicks and it's cool. The head nod. And you would see each other time to time, and we would always say we would get together, we would link up, and we're finally doing that.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Long time coming.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's been too long.
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself. We want to start with, because I think when we first met you, I think that's right when Mayor Duggan got elected, around that time, maybe a couple of years after that.
Yeah.
And how did you get involved with the mayor's activities to begin with?
Man, the funny thing is, you always have grand ideas. You want to do something, and then if you don't take a step back and say, well, I got to do this before I want to do that. And that was a space I was in, you know, in the mid-2000s. I was working for a nonprofit agency in Southwest Detroit.
Okay.
And
that's where you're from, right?
Yeah, and started getting my name out there just in the community through the work we were doing. And I thought to myself, I'm going to run for city council.
Nice. Okay.
And, you know, the election, I think it was in 2013. But I said, you know, you've never run for anything in your life. What do you know about politics? What do you know about campaigns? And I got an invite February 2013. Latino leadership in Southwest was meeting with a guy by the name of Mike Duggan.
Nice.
Second floor of Armando's.
Okay.
And he gave his, you know, little speech about why he wanted to run the city of Detroit. And that day I said, man, that's the guy that needs to run the city.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, this is an opportunity to volunteer on a campaign, you know, get my feet wet, learn the ins and outs of door knocking and canvassing and calling and campaigning. And
did you approach him directly, or how did that begin?
You know, it's funny. I don't think I have it anymore, but he gave me his campaign business card.
Okay.
So it was Duggan for Detroit business card at the time. And I'm like, man, he probably gives this thing to everybody. But but I called it. I got with Londell Thomas, who was the field director at the time. Went through a couple canvassing trainings, and one of the ironic things that I saw is that like I was the only Latino in every single room.
Interesting.
It was a mix of people, but you know, I was the only one in there, and I said, well, if you know, our people in Southwest, we need to be represented too in these spaces.
100%.
So volunteered and became the neighborhood team leader over Southwest Detroit. I think because I was the only Latino there. They're like, hey, you Southwest. So you know, did some events with the mayor in Southwest. We did a lot of outreach there, and fortunately he garnered a lot of the vote out of Southwest Detroit and across the city, obviously. But I was still working for the nonprofit agency. He won the historic write-in campaign. You know, November rolls around, he wins the general election, and then everyone's like, oh, he's gonna tap you to be in his administration. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
But it sounds good.
So you know, what was it? January 2014 rolls around. I get a letter in the mail. It says, it gives me great pleasure to appoint you District 6 manager for the city of Detroit. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And
that's how it works. They say, like, I didn't even know that. That's
so I got appointed by the mayor, and the city was now split up by districts. And so there was 100,000 people roughly in each district.
How many districts is
there's 7.
7? Did it
7 total.
Was there more now? Did they add? I know they were talking
The city never
about
had districts before.
Okay.
It was always like you could have 9 council members. They could all live in the riverfront towers and represent the entire city of Detroit.
Wow.
So this allowed equal representation.
Nice.
Have a council member that lives in each district, and you know, you try to split it up so you have you know, similar neighborhoods and then demographics and you know, all of that split into one, so that, you know, one district isn't all just downtown and midtown. You know, one district isn't all just certain sectors. So we had the Department of Neighborhoods. We became pretty much the mini mayors of each district.
Yes.
And we were in charge of making sure city services across the board ran, launched all the new initiatives, worked with the police department, attended all the meetings.
So you guys were
block
working.
clubs. Yeah. Trying to register block clubs to make sure that people took pride and care of their neighborhoods.
So go back to when you first received that letter.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind? Like, explain that feeling.
It was, it was probably mixed emotions because one, I didn't really know what that meant.
Okay.
But two, I was also excited because I know I put a lot of effort in the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I didn't do it to get a job. I did
Right.
it because I love my city. I did it because I wanted to get experience on a campaign so one day I could run for office.
Right.
Okay.
But once that happened, I said, okay, this is the opportunity to really get into city government and serve people on a larger platform. And that's what it was. I mean, I was working in youth development, serving, several hundred youth a year in year-round youth programming. But this allowed me to now help provide resources to those programs and, work with everybody across the board. So it was exciting.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very
So I did that for, 3 years, and I guess I did something right.
Right.
Because then the mayor was like, hey, I'm going to have you take a leave to go head up Hillary Clinton's coordinated campaign in the city of Detroit.
Wow. Okay.
So
Okay.
I headed up her presidential
2016?
campaign in 2016.
Wow.
You know what's funny? We did an event
That's right. We did.
for Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
So Jemana K. Ruse, who I've known for a number of years, she calls me up and she's like, I have 4 days to do an event at my house for Hillary Clinton with Cher. Will you put it together for me? I said,
I didn't know you were part of that.
Yeah.
I didn't make it.
Okay,
But I heard all
but you
about
remember
it.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Everyone was, I want to say that focused a little more on like I don't know if there were more women there.
I think so. It was Halloween.
Okay.
My daughter came. She was like 7. She was like, I don't know, Cher. Do they have candy? It's Halloween. But
awesome.
no, it was 400 people. It turned out
I heard it was
great.
phenomenal.
Yeah, it was. But
That's awesome.
I literally had 4 days to put that thing together.
Jeez. The extraordinaire right here.
yeah, exactly.
Consummate professional.
Right.
But yeah, I did. So I did that and learned a lot of great things, more about campaigning.
Yes.
And really got to get out in every corner of the city, which, sometimes you get trapped in a certain part of the city when you're doing work in just Southwest Detroit.
Right.
Becoming a district manager, I was focused on a certain area. So from Midtown, downtown, all the way south to the border of Fort Street, Schaefer.
Okay.
So that was a whole area.
Nice.
And then the Hillary Clinton campaign allowed me to expand even more. Obviously the mayor's campaign too, I was out there, but I wasn't working in city government at the time.
Okay.
So that, we did that. Obviously she didn't win, which was unfortunate.
Right.
We knew what happened after
we
that.
were all surprised.
Yeah. But then, I really look at that as it was the mayor kind of getting me prepared for running his reelection campaign in 2017.
Yes.
So I ran the mayor's reelection in 2017. He won by a landslide. I mean, he really didn't have much competition.
Right.
But he won another term, and 2018, it was that time for me to run for office.
Yes.
So I ran for state representative.
Okay.
In a district that I lived in Woodbridge at the time, so I was by Wayne State.
Okay.
The
I
House
love
district.
Woodbridge.
I ran in, covered Woodbridge all the way to the East Side City Airport, all of Hamtramck, Pingree Park, Virginia Park, all that area. And, a lot of people, they were like, "What? Why didn't you run for the House district in Southwest?" And I'm like, I got morals. I'm not going to up and move or get a new address just to run in that district.
Exactly. Yeah.
I live in Woodbridge, and we're running this House district. And there were about 17 people in the race. It was the most packed state house race in the entire state. And I want to say I finished about 3rd, which I'm a competitor.
Yeah,
you want to
exactly.
win.
Exactly.
Always, right?
But after looking in hindsight
And looking at
what
the
I had to
numbers,
do to
that's
build,
good. Yeah.
Relationships over a campaign period.
Right.
It was fun, and so I didn't win, but sat down with the mayor that fall of 2018. And he said, all right, well, he's like, well, what do you want to do? Because people want you back at the city.
Yeah.
And he's naming off all these different departments.
Nice.
And and bridging neighborhoods, which is what I'm the director of now, wasn't even in the conversation.
Okay.
It was just other departments.
Yes.
And the director at the time hit me up like that week, and she said, "Hey, you want to have lunch?" I said, "All right." And she said, "I got a deputy director position open.
Nice.
You know, I think you'd be great for it, and it's yours if you want it." So, became deputy director in the fall of 2018.
Okay.
And the great thing about it was working on the International Bridge Project, the Gordie Howe Bridge in Southwest. And when I was a district manager, the mayor and I used to go meet with the community down there.
Okay, right.
And I'll get this will come full circle in a minute, but he's telling the neighbors, he's like, well, what if we created this home swap program where if you didn't get bought out by the state of Michigan, but you wanted to move to another part of the city and we renovated a house for you, we could do a deed swap and you move into a fully renovated house.
Interesting. Deed swap.
And so it was
that's just like, so they won't pay for that. They just
they
swap
don't.
it
it's
out?
just a purely swap
that.
deed,
Oh,
and
okay.
the city retains their property. We demolish the house in Delray, and then the city maintains the land.
That's a win-win.
Yeah, and he even said, he goes, and then, I don't know, maybe we call it Razo's Realty or something. And I thought it was funny at the time.
Right.
But flash forward, we are selling houses now too.
Okay. Hey,
But-
speaking all type of stuff.
Well,
back
yeah,
there.
when I was away doing the political work on Hillary's campaign, the mayor's campaign, what we had started down there was starting to get put into motion, and we created the mayor brokered a over $40 million deal with the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority.
Okay.
32.6 of that created bridging neighborhoods,
Okay.
which allowed for the home swap program to renovate houses,
Yes.
the demo of the houses in Delray, and then it also created an environmental mitigation program where we helped people north of I-75 that lived 300 feet within the I-75 service drive that wanted to get updated windows, HVAC, central air to help mitigate against noise and air pollution, so that they could keep their windows closed, filter the air on the inside, not have to put box fans in their windows,
Right.
move around that diesel emissions and everything. So
Now, what year did this bridging program? What is it called? Bridging Detroit.
bridging neighborhoods,
Bridging
yeah,
neighborhoods.
bridging
What year
neighborhoods.
did it start?
So it was approved by City Council in the summer of 2017.
Okay.
And it wasn't after the people in leadership at the time put the team together. Their first match came in 2018, and when I came on board in October of 2018, I think we had our very first home swap in November of 2018.
Okay.
So I've been on board for the last 73 home swaps.
Wow.
Yeah.
73.
73.
So how many more to go? Because I know the bridge is the part of the bridge already in that neighborhood. This is Delray, correct?
Yeah, so it's, the area that they bought out everybody through eminent domain, the state of Michigan, that whole area has been leveled. It's already starting to take shape as the plaza, and all of the overpasses. If you drive down, Fort Street, you see all the overpasses being built.
Yes.
From the plaza onto 75, all the work that's happening on 75. So it's been in motion, and they're still on target to open next year.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's good.
So we've been around for roughly 6 years, and we've had 74 families. I think we're going to have 75 pretty soon here.
Nice.
Matched to a house.
Yeah.
And we had the budget to do a few hundred houses if that many people wanted to match. And we do door knocking every single year to get the pulse of the neighborhood and figure out if there are any other people that want to do home swap. If they don't want to do it, what's the reason, so we can kind of get a good idea on how much more activity that we'll have. And I think we're at the point right now that we're pretty tapped out.
Okay. As far as the people?
As far as people selecting a house to move to.
Okay.
And another part of that is that we work with the land bank inventory, and there is no inventory in Southwest. And that's the main area everybody from Delray wants to move to because of the geography.
Do you know roughly how many properties land bank still has? Because when I first started in 2016, I asked them, and they said over 30,000.
Yeah, back then they did.
But not so much anymore.
To be honest, they're getting ready to be out of properties. Oh wow! Probably in the next year or two.
Ooh,
and
I gotta go get some more.
Well, it's a good problem to have.
It is. It depends on who you are.
Well, yeah. The tough part is that the inventory they have is probably borderline it could be salvageable or it could be demoed.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the good stuff has already been bought and renovated, which is good.
Over the last 10 years, probably.
Yeah, and there's still the owner of several thousand lots, vacant lots. So they do, and they're going to try to come up with programs, and they have some in place right now to move some of those. Obviously, they had the vacant side lot program, right? $100. You live next to the side lot, you buy it. I think they've moved, probably 30,000 side lots.
Yeah, that was crazy.
When I was a district manager, we had the very first side lot sale.
Oh, okay,
in Southwest Detroit.
Nice. Yeah,
we didn't know what to expect. We
right.
set up at La Terraza. We had a line out the door at 8 o'clock. And people were hoping that they would come, be able to walk out with their deed, because that's what we were trying to do. And that was the test pilot to sort out all the details and figure out why some lots weren't available, and they worked it out to the point where after that, people were just coming in, paying their $100 and coming out with a deed. So it was
crazy.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So walk us through a typical day for you. Like, how does your day start?
Man, I'm really hands on. So I like being in the office, but I like being in the field too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after COVID, my team's been back in the office for the last year at least, maybe longer, 3 days a week, and then some of the staff, we work 2 days a week from home. But we have a program team that does all the case management with families, and then we have a field team that manages all the properties and the contractors.
Okay.
So for me, I'm heavy with procurement and putting contracts together and going through city council, amending contracts, creating secondary contracts for things that we didn't think we needed services for, we need a landscape contract. All right, we got to put one together so that we can take care of larger trees. But it's a lot. Going to city council, dealing with procurement, getting requisitions done so that we can pay contractors, invoices. And then like today, I was out driving the east side, checking on the houses we had out there, looking at some of the houses that we did renovate and sell, or some of the houses that families have moved to. Just seeing, I like seeing a house looking like it's lived in.
Exactly.
So we've had the house, we renovate it, and it's vacant, and then I drive by and I see planters on the porch.
That's right. It's alive again.
So it's cool, especially when it's been vacant for 20 years.
Right.
And the neighbors had to deal with it for that long.
Yes.
So just obviously meetings. We're virtual, which is good for versatility.
Yes.
Almost every meeting we have these days is all virtual.
Nice.
But we're part of housing revitalization department, HRD.
Okay.
So we have a lot of director manager meetings. We put together an employee engagement. So I'm on that team. So we want to make sure that we're creating things for our staff members to get involved in. So it's not just work all the time. Happy hours, and we got to walk on the riverfront this Saturday that I put together, and coffee after. So just trying to mix it up, and just the check-ins that I have with my deputy director and my field team members, getting those check-ins every week to make sure that things are moving forward and stuff's being followed up on. One of the biggest things that we deal with after doing home repair and renovations is warranty items. So everybody gets an 18-month warranty.
Oh, excellent.
And we get calls every week. Hey, this toilet's loose. Hey, I got a drywall screw that's popping out. And our team is really good about it. We have great customer service, but it's just trying to find that balance between what is what happens when you become a homeowner that you're responsible
That's your responsibility,
for, and what is something that we're responsible for.
Sure.
So,
For sure.
But it's no 2 days are the same. And that's why I love it. I never thought in a million years I would be in housing. But it's been one of the best jobs I've had in my life, man.
Awesome.
That's good.
Awesome.
That's good. Not too many people can say that.
The story too is that I'm really big in creating the life that you want and speaking things and and God opening up doors when you state what you want and all that, and that's how you started the story. You were like, you decided you wanted to be in city council. Next thing you know, you're running into the future mayor. And then now here you are today. So I think that's dope. Congratulations on the new family and baby.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Well, how long ago did you get married?
Going on 2 years. September 17th.
That's you, right? 2 years.
In September.
Oh, man. What day?
25th.
Okay.
Wow.
We were right behind it.
Yeah.
2 years or
Going on 2.
okay.
Yeah.
So we're celebrating our 2-year September 17th.
Awesome.
Nice.
And
Okay.
yeah, we just
I'm a freshman in it, so
yeah, congratulations
thank
to
you.
you too, man.
It was 2 months
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't
There
know
you
the
go.
dates yet now.
And he's already messing up. He's already forgetting.
I
hope his- wait, his wife watched
30-day anniversary, so I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
There you
good.
go. Yeah, man. It's it goes by quick. Everything
Yeah.
goes by quick, man.
It
Whether
does.
it's a kid, whether it's marriage, whether it's work. I mean, stuff just goes by so quick.
For
but
sure.
It's been fun, man.
Yeah,
It's
man.
been fun.
So 2 questions.
Yeah.
What's next?
Okay.
And anybody who may be in that area that want to find out about bridging neighborhoods,
Yeah.
how do they find that out?
So we have a website, bridgingneighborhoods.org, and it shows houses that we've matched. I think you can run through it and see all of the houses that we've matched to date. They're all on there, which is really cool. I remember doing it on my phone, and I just hit the scroll like I was doing Wheel of Fortune.
Right.
And this thing kept running, and I took a recording of it and put it on social media because I thought it was so cool to just see how many houses.
Yeah.
But it just explains, contractors if they want to engage with the city and become a registered vendor with the city. If people live in Delray and they don't know if they're eligible, they can put their address in and find out.
Awesome.
We also took on home repair projects around the Jefferson North Assembly Plant, Fiat Chrysler on the east side. So we wrapped that up. We did 59 home repairs at $15,000 a house.
Okay.
Nice.
And then we're wrapping up around the train station, the neighborhoods over there. We took on another 49 there, so 108 additional home repairs,
Wow.
174
Busy.
environmental mitigation.
Right. No days off. That's what they call you, right?
That was his hashtag, right?
Call them, right?
Yeah. Hey, after I had a kid, everyone's like, it's definitely no
Right.
doubt.
Oh, you got
But yeah, I mean, looking in hindsight and thinking like, wow, you spent and put $26 million, maybe a little bit more than that to date, to work and in the community to rehab houses and get them back to functionality, and we have families that are now in better situations than they were before, living in more dense neighborhoods, away from the pollution. They're in a house that has more equity.
Yes.
I mean, I just heard there's been one house sold in Delray in the last year, $45,000. And you think about where home values are and how they've risen across the entire city. And we have families that are living in houses right now. If they decided it wasn't for them and they wanted to sell and move somewhere else, they could put their house on the market for $170,000.
For sure.
So,
Nice.
That's not something we tell
that's a nice
families.
come up. Right.
But we had a family, and they were like the mayors of Delray.
Okay.
92 when they got into the home swap. They've been in Delray for I think over 70 years. They had a little mom and pop shop that was 50 years old.
Wow.
And they decided that it was best for their legacy to get into home swap. They knew they weren't going to be around forever. They moved to the aviation sub over off Littlefield, and a nice brick bungalow house that is probably again valued at close to $200,000.
Nice.
And they said, we're making this decision for our grandkids. This is for our kids. So
so not just changing lives, but changing legacy.
Exactly.
And you love hearing those stories.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
We've come across every scenario you probably can think of. But it's great to be able to fill a need for people like that.
That's awesome.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Brother Rico. Oh, wait. First, what's next?
Yeah. What's next?
Yeah.
What is next?
I mean, right now we're I think I mentioned we got into the for sale space. So we're closing in on our 100th full renovation.
Okay.
So you'll probably see that in the media in the next month or two. We're gonna have a little celebration around that.
Awesome.
But we're starting to sell houses. So we offer houses that we're renovating all over the city now in the strategic fund neighborhood areas.
Yes.
Through an Invest Detroit GAT fund grant at $2 million that helps us to sell the houses because we put $120,000 into them.
Right.
Maybe they sell at $90,000. We got a little gap there that $2 million helps us pull the gap down. But now we've created comps in those neighborhoods and hopefully increase the values. But we're focused on selling houses, finishing the rest of the houses we currently have. And I think if we look at what's going on in the city right now around the Joe Louis Greenway and how that's coming in and going to be 26, 27 miles around the city, there's vacant houses around there. So it may be an opportunity for bridging neighborhoods to get involved with that. And, maybe some other areas of home repair if there are other community benefit agreements. So we're trying to navigate right now and figure out what's next there. But I think, housing will be in the future for a little while longer.
Yeah, as it should.
Can't go wrong, right?
Yeah, there's a big need for it in the city. Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, thank you, Brother Rico, for coming.
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
Being in the building on What's Up Detroit. And,
it's good seeing you guys.
For sure, for sure. And that's it for today. We will check you out next time.